now these haters salty.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to IE Sports Radio. I'm Niners Jess, along with Ty Alston, Maddie B, who is inactive tonight, and we got your girl Bex. We are the East Coast Red and Gold. What's going on?
Hey.
Hey, what's going on? I like the way you said he's inactive tonight. Keep it in football terms. That was awesome. That's why you're the best at what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So how's everybody doing?
It's vacation time, so couldn't get better than this.
Awesome. All right. So it's not a show unless we start off with not a David McNiner, but a Rob D comment. And what about that jerky, Ty?
You know, Tony, if you're looking for some jerky, as Rob D mentions, you should go to planetjerky.com. There, Planet Jerky has premium beef brisket jerky. It is gluten-free. It contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, low in sugar, and high in protein. You know, shout out to Planet Jerky, our sponsor. It's jerky that's on a whole other planet.
I can go to planetjerky.net if you're interested. Becca has gone there, and pretty good jerky, right, Becca?
It was well received. I sent it as a gift, so.
Good stuff. All right, so we got a special guest on with us tonight. We have Kenny Culp.
Hey, everybody.
Going to talk some Niners. Kenny, welcome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here. I really like all of you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We try to be good people.
You guys are a staple in the Niner community.
Yeah.
And when I told people I was going to be on, they were like, that's really cool. They're really good. There you go.
Well, thank you very much. All right. So I always like to start off with, I'm intrigued by how people become fans of the 49ers, because there's fans all over the place within the U.S., outside the U.S., and we all have different stories that make up our fandom. So I would like to know how you became a 49ers fan.
This is a great question. Unfortunately, some people don't have great answers to them, but I have an answer. I was a young lad on the East Coast living in New Jersey, being cursed by having to watch the Jets and the Giants for most of my life.
We know that curse.
I sought solace in other teams that were a little more friendly, that I would like, teams that I could relate to, teams that win. And I started loving the Niners, probably right before the Cincinnati Super Bowl, which was 23? Super Bowl 23?
Yes.
So a year before that, maybe two, because I remember my dad got me like Joe Montana sweats and a shirt. And it said Niners on one leg, San Francisco on the other, Joe Montana name, jersey number. So every day was two-hand touch football, unless it was too hot. And I wore that outfit out, and I just fell in love with the team, and they were also doing well. I got to go to 2 games when I was on the East Coast, both in East Rutherford at Giants Stadium, against the Jets, against the Giants. I don't think they were in the same year, and I don't know who won. But I was so happy to see the Niners live right in front of my face, because I only got to watch them on TV. But there had been some really good Niners and Giants games, back then also. I believe the first biggest comeback the Niners have ever had, isn't that against the Giants on Monday night? I think there
was a game where they had to come back from.
I don't know if it was the most they've come back, but yes,
17 points or something, down 17-0, and came back.
And I was young, and I wasn't really allowed up late, but the game was on. It was a Monday night game, if you remember, and I was allowed to stay up, and it was just another cool moment. Like, you remember this stuff when you're little, because you don't. Everything's pretty boring when you're a kid, but when you have something really fun happen, you always remember that. And so Niners always had super awesome memories for me growing up, and I always loved them, and nobody else did. And I'm someone who I like to do my own thing. So everyone liked the Giants, everyone liked the Jets, and everyone liked. I think usually we'd see a lot of Raiders stuff too, from the 70s. I'm sure a lot of parents passed that down to their kids, because I was growing up in the early 80s, and so I was just so happy to be a 49er fan, and I was so happy that they were doing well. I got to, mouth off to a lot of people at a young age. Good practice for the future.
Yep.
Unfortunately, what you get around here, and I know this happens everywhere, but you get like, okay, you live in the area, so you're going to become a fan of the team. But, nowadays the whole rivalry of the Giants, Niners, doesn't really live up to the hype because the Giants suck. So,
Yeah.
although now they have my guy Brian Burns, so
Yeah, they actually added a couple nice pieces that I like. So good luck with that. I hope they can put a nice dent in Dallas and the Eagles.
yeah, I don't know. Daniel Jones though, still the
Yeah,
quarterback.
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
not
It's
happy about that either.
big question mark at the quarterback position. So good luck with that.
Yeah, I look at him like Jimmy G, really. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know as much about him as I do Jimmy G. It's just how I see the two of them being like guys who are decent quarterbacks, but it just doesn't seem like they're going to get you over that hump. So why not move on? Hey, Bebop.
What's up, Bebop? All right, so let's get into it. The Juwan Jennings contract. Happy that they signed him, extended him rather. What do you think that means for Debo and Ayuk, if anything?
That's just it. I don't know if it means anything, right? But if you watched last year, you know that Debo, BA, and Jennings, those were the guys. Nobody behind, there was nobody really a factor after those three. Ray, I think he dealt with a little bit of injuries and he was new and probably learning everything and probably regulated to mostly special teams stuff. But it was Jennings, number 3. He became our Kendrick Bourne. He made everyone forget about Kendrick Bourne and what he used to do for us. And he's even better than Kendrick Bourne, as someone pointed out to me recently. And it's just not something I thought about. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think he's also better than Kendrick Bourne. I'm sure Kendrick Bourne would love to be on the Niners right now.
Everybody wants to come back.
So I don't know if it means anything. I think it absolutely could mean something, and which makes me sad because I'm a huge Debo fan. So I've been really trying to be positive for Debo in the chats and in comment sections because I know the writing is on the wall. And yeah, as much as I don't want to see him leave, I think that he would still succeed wherever he goes. So I wish him the best. I hope he remains. I hope we can make it work. We're taking a lot of young players. They're not making a lot of money right now. So if a lot of them hit, we could hold on to a lot of guys.
Go ahead, Becca.
Hold on 1 second. For the record, Beto, it's not on my hip, it's on the arm of the chair.
It's the armrest.
Okay? Let's get that straight. All right, go ahead, Beto.
Like you're being a sassy lady.
Like Forrest Gump kind of thing. Like a teapot.
Like Jesus. All right.
I would agree with you, Kenny, on the Debo situation that I think it is going to depend on who hits. Maybe someone goes down with injury or something like that, where now that changes the dynamic significantly. So I think it will take a big, significant change to really move the needle. But he seems like the likely one to go unless somebody really, tanks it up.
As much as I hate it, I'm not dumb enough to fight it. It's like when VCRs were over and it was all about CDs and DVDs and no, I'm not getting rid of my VHS tapes ever. And you get used to it. And the more time passes, it takes over you and it washes over and you accept it more easily. So
yes, there's the curve, right? Denial, anger,
right. Whatever the 9 stage or the whatever stages of death or whatever.
It's the stages of grief and then
grief.
Acceptance.
Correct. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if there are any stages of death, Kenny.
Yeah, I think it's just the one.
It's kind of final.
After that, we're still trying to find out what happened.
You're done.
Hopefully, something better. Let's just hope something better.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dina.
Yeah. Hey, Dina.
Beto, Dina's going to get you.
Dina's
I'm happy about the Jennings signing. We've talked about it on the show. He's worth more than a 1-year tender.
Yeah.
He deserves an extension. We spoke about how he's more than third in Juwan now. He's valuable on first and second as well.
He's to be feared on every down now.
Yeah.
He's an integral part of the offense.
And it's just filthy, right? Our offense, you see Debo, Pearsall, BA, CMC, Kittle, Brock Purdy. Imagine we had another Trent on that line, what we could do. So hopefully one of these guys works out, maybe even Chris Hubbard, who's a veteran, who knows how to play right tackle really well. Maybe he beats out McKivitz. McKivitz becomes this utility type of swing on that side. Because I don't know if I trust Jalen Moore, as a swing. I know he hasn't really given up anything major that has made anyone say, oh, Jalen Moore, he's got to go. But Jalen Moore's kind of been here a while, and he hasn't really made the steps to stand out or make anyone say, we'd be good with Jalen Moore on left tackle if we had to. I don't think anyone would say that.
And to finish the question, it means nothing for Debo or BA's status or question.
Now it's my turn. Sorry, Beto, for my KKK flag, but it is.
Oh my God.
He's on a roll.
That's awful.
That's better.
My goodness.
I can't get it out
Dude.
of my head.
What? Looks like a KKK. What?
Oh my
Now I can't not
gosh.
see
I
it.
had to read that again. I'm like, what?
I was like, now I have to move it. So look,
This is why I don't wear my glasses. Some shows so the
A
text
strike
is
is
just
coming.
blurry.
Man. A strike is coming.
Oh my god.
There's always something on this show.
Yeah. we're gonna say no. You got the wrong girl.
Just take the candlestick dirt. There you go.
Yeah.
Patrick
Right.
Willis is gonna be my husband, okay?
Wow. That'd be pretty sweet.
It would. For both
Yeah,
of us.
I'm Becca. I'm trying really hard to get P. Willie on the show.
I
Trying
think
very
it's
hard.
totally possible.
I've
It's
messaged
always on
a
the
couple
move.
times too.
It's hard to get him.
Yeah,
Maybe,
well,
maybe he likes brownies. Maybe he likes
I'll make him some
a
cookies.
Pop-Pop.
I got cookies.
The cookies. That's right.
you still have to.
I've heard about
you still have to
these
send
It's a
cookies to
kid-friendly
Booby
show,
Dixon.
so we'll-
I know, right? You make sure Booby gets his cookies.
I was gonna say the cookies were for Booby. I remember.
Listen, I made Booby cookies too, but he didn't send me an address.
Oh, you know what? Just throw it in the mail, right? Booby. It'll
Yeah.
get. There's at least.
These
There's only
are
that
for Booby.
Booby. Former Niner.
Yeah, Booby D, these are for you.
Theo. In care of.
Them
Booby
cookies
Niner.
ain't going far with that address.
No,
Let me tell you.
those cookies have been eaten by police
The
dogs.
Postmaster General will be opening my box. Right?
The postmaster-
Yeah, they may not leave the post office.
That was
Exactly.
the day the postmaster general showed up and did
Booby's
an
cookies.
inspection, opened boxes, and tasted your cookies.
From Boobies, for Booby from Bex.
Yeah, they read that
Oh
one.
boy.
These are drugs.
Yeah, they'd be like, But no, I told him
Trust
to
him.
PM him an address where to send them, and I would send them to him. But
Yeah, he's got a lot of fan mail to go through. He'll get back to you.
Yeah, he'll respond. He took a little bit.
Yeah,
To
I can
respond to
imagine
me,
how
but
much mail this
We'll
guy.
talk after. We'll talk after the show.
okay,
I'll let you know.
yeah.
Okay, so the Niners signed veteran tight end Logan Thomas from the Commanders. I still don't think that he will be tight end number 2.
Wow. Okay.
It is just so hard with this tight end room because George Kittle is the tight end room. That's it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's the
I
CMC
mean-
of the tight ends. Like no one else is going to play.
Yes, I mean we have Cam Latu. There's Braden Willis, who has actually been showing out in
That's
camp.
what I'm hearing. Yeah.
And could possibly be the tight end number 2, which would be kind of cool.
Mhm.
And then there's Mason Pline, which people are
Yeah.
a la Larry Kruger is high on.
A little behind the scenes guy.
But you know what? Like Mason Pline, Logan Thomas. I always want to say Logan Ryan, so I have to kind of
Please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't.
getting like mixed up. But Logan Thomas, Mason Pline, Braden Willis. I think they're all upgrades over Charlie Warner and Ross Dwelly, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Whoa. Well, are you asking me or these guys first?
Yeah, whoever wants to answer.
Jump in.
Jump in.
All right. I think it's definitely the best tight end we've had. And I've heard people say this. So obviously this seems to be the majority opinion. But as far as I can remember, yeah, probably the best TE2 we've had since we were toying with Jordan Reed. And I think he concussed himself and had to stop playing or got hurt.
Yeah, heard.
This is huge. Because imagine who we had to rely on if Kittle misses 3 games in a row. We would have had some issues because we use Kittle, as you know, like our 5th offensive lineman too. So if we're going to throw just like Latu or Willis out there, or Sourbutt, as I call him, which is Saubert. I call him Sourbutt.
I
But-
forgot about Saubert. Yeah.
So, if that would have been probably the lead, that probably would have been the guy who would have been our starting tight end if Kittle went down. So I like the move. He doesn't have a lot of receiving yards. I think he has 2,000 total yards in 10 years. So it's not great, but he can catch. He's a vet, and I think he played the entire season last year, didn't he?
I believe he did.
Probably most of it, which is
Yeah.
which is nice on the Skins. I'm sorry, on the Commanders, and they play very good teams. Maybe not the Giants, but they do play some good teams, and I think he is definitely going to help us out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't have to have him at TE1, but it's nice to know he's there.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of wondering what they would do with the tight end position, because I feel like they want to get George Kittle more involved in the passing game, as they should, because we all know what happens when the ball's in George Kittle's hands. I say it every single show.
They should call him the bus.
I'm on the edge
Always
of
carrying 3 or 4 guys with him.
Yes, I know, Becca. You're on the edge of your seat. Good things happen when the ball's in George Kittle's hands, for sure.
Absolutely.
So Matt Barrows had tweeted the team's top 3 tight ends and how they're used: George Kittle in line and as a receiver, Logan Thomas primarily out of the slot, and Eric Saubert primarily as an inline blocker. Yeah, I mean, unless there's a Mason Pline and it's his name escapes me.
Well,
the
I
other
would
guy.
say, is it you talking
Cam
about
Latu
Latu and
or-
Willis?
Yeah, which
Yeah,
I
would
don't think
right now
Cam.
it's a battle between Latu and Pline to make this team, because I think they would carry 4 tight ends, don't you?
Yeah, at least 3 on the roster and 1 on practice squad.
Yeah. So I mean, Pline may be hungry and outplay Latu. I mean, he could do it. And then that would be a bummer, because it's another 3rd round pick that we totally screwed up again. Trade every 3rd round pick. Every year we should just trade our 3rd round picks. And it's funny because we go out of our way to get compensatory 3rd round picks, and it's our worst pick. So if we're going to get 3 compensatory 3rd round picks, let's trade all 3 for like a 2nd rounder. Trust me, it's going to be better than picking 3 people in the 3rd round, as far as recent history would show us. So.
Yeah, I just think with Cam Latu, I don't think he's the organization's favorite person right now.
Yeah, still praising
You
him.
just got to step it up.
Yeah, well, he had the dropsies last year before he got hurt. He's been hurt, and I think that they said that he could possibly be ready for training camp. What's up, TL?
TL,
my guy.
Sentinel.
The Sentinel.
He's got to
New
step it up.
subscriber today.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Sentinel's
much.
an awesome. Listen, guys, the Sentinel's an awesome, smart guy. Just so you guys know, he may be rough around the edges, but he is worth getting to know. I will say that about the Sentinel.
Welcome. And no, Beto, they are not looking for Kittle's replacement for next year.
Just wants to hurt Bex's feelings.
You're about to
He's
get
about to get
banned.
blocked on this channel.
About to
I
get
know, that's what I mean.
About to get Bex,
You're
Beto.
you're like that close.
Beto is about to be reported.
Yes. He's touching the line. The toes on the line.
We're gonna start signing you up for a bunch of like newsletters and stuff to email you.
I know, right? I could see that happening.
Spam Beto to death.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the 2nd time I've used the word death. I'm so sorry.
Is there something we should know about?
Yeah.
Kenny?
Well, my parents are from
Mhm.
Brooklyn, so that'll explain some of it.
You got
Okay.
a guy who's got a guy.
Gotta be tough on the
Yeah.
game. Gotta go the whole 9 when you go over the top.
yeah, we
Usually.
went over the stages of death, and
We've touched on life and football.
Life,
Yes.
yes. We've gone full
Yeah.
circle. tonight.
Life is football. And
Football is life.
Yeah.
Where's the candles?
Yeah, see, he's a bad guy. He's a bad dude.
I know. I think Becca should be shaking the candlestick dirt like this
Yes,
entire
I was
show.
gonna say we can at least shake the dirt again.
Yeah.
No
Hey,
bad
this
to
is
do.
this is a weird thing. It has nothing to do with anything right now, but it's the off season. So since I was young, I've always wanted the Niners to play on Alcatraz. Can't we make this a thing? Maybe 1 game a year that we play on Alcatraz? Wouldn't this be the coolest thing ever?
Well, you've been on Alcatraz?
I have, yeah.
there's just no possible
Where you
way
gonna
to have
play?
a game on Alcatraz.
It's not huge or anything. I'm just saying if we can get one game in there and make a nice field, because they do have outdoor grass and like a field facility.
Yeah, but there's just no.
This
like,
is
it's
a
not big enough.
VIP. Yeah, no, there's not like 60,000 people go to this game. I'm talking about like
Poppycock, she said.
just something.
No, but I'm not talking about like the fans. I'm talking about like the players. Like it would literally have to be maybe like 5-on-5.
You know what? Hey, let's do a league like Ice Cube does, but make it for football. And instead of 3-on-3, we could do 5-on-5 or like 7-on-7. That would be really cool. Flag football on Alcatraz to the death.
There we go. Here's the favorite
Third
word of the show.
Everything's in freeze, like feng shui.
We're gonna lock
He
you up
says-
until 13.
Sounds
Okay.
like a B movie.
Oh, I'm sure somebody will lock themselves somewhere.
Cell House D. That's right.
I always thought it was so cool. Like I said, I was a little guy, so I always thought it was so cool if we could play on Alcatraz.
Wow, that's an idea though. I've never heard that before. TL
something.
says Camelot 2 is already in Kyle's doghouse. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
that.
but you
We
know
can
what?
see that.
BA was in that doghouse.
Exactly. He worked his way
Leon
out.
Sandcastle, another good dude.
No matter who
Yeah,
tight
Leon
end two
Sandcastle
is,
said parking would
Oh
be
yeah, parking would be a problem.
terrible.
can't park. You gotta take
You
the ferry over.
I was just
You
gonna
could
say
ferry over, exactly.
you
That's-
got a ferry over, so
And the ferry over is like a drinking party, just so you guys know.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
a
it
little
is.
social. It's a social, is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I agree, TL. To play there would be a bit difficult.
It's impossible to play there. It's impossible.
Why not go do a throwback game at Kazar?
They don't have a football
There you
field,
go.
but they
That
do
makes
have
more
Exactly.
sense.
And there's
outdoor
a pub right across the way.
Yeah.
half-
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Oh, I'm saying knock that all out. Make it a football stadium. That's where I'm going with it. No, obviously not saying that, but I just think it would look incredible. I'm seeing too many
Revenue
AI. I'm seeing too many
generated
AI
for the
pictures.
city,
That's what it
they're
is.
not going to do it.
Never.
Alcatraz does not have a football field.
No, they do not. They have like a half size like soccer, like about that big. It's not very big, but they do have outside, so people could go outside. Yeah, it's an impossible feat. I regret bringing it up, guys. I wasted 20 minutes. So sorry.
It's what we do.
You know what,
we
we
waste an
talk
hour
about-
every week. So.
It is San Francisco related, so we talk about just about anything on the show.
Just
So
a dream
anything
of a
that comes to
boy
your
on
mind.
the
Mhm.
coast.
That's right. But yeah, no, playing a game at Kezar would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
That
Still
would
sad
be-
the candlestick isn't here, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, well, it was kind of a dump.
It was
old.
falling
Nice
over.
Dude,
dump though.
I think it was leaning like the Tower of Pisa. Eventually, it was just gonna.
It was old. Yeah,
It was old, and she was in need of a facelift.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
the location.
Well, I don't know if you guys.
What a beautiful spot.
I'm
It
from East
was.
Coast. I do love the Yankees, and that stadium being torn down broke my heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at least they put
Yeah.
the new one right across the street.
At least it was
Still in the
across,
same
Exactly.
place.
literally correct.
Yeah.
Nothing had to change as far as like everything else, so that was nice. But then it went up, and it looked like a concrete version of its original. It was so sad. So I remember going
Mhm.
there in like 1985 and watching those crap Yankees who were always terrible. And I loved them so much. See what I mean? It didn't matter what their record. It's not about record for me. Well, I just like that the Niners were good. That was just nice. But I loved the Yankees, even when they were in last place all the time. So, yeah.
Well, we don't have Matty B with us tonight. He is inactive, but we do have a Star Wars reference from the Sentinel.
There
you go.
So the
A
show
good
is
making Matty
That's a
B
perfect
proud.
one. Really, a
that's
perfect-
right.
Pulling heartstrings.
But yes, Candlestick was like the Millennium Falcon. I agree.
Very good.
And you're right. It was our dump.
Sometimes it's the same thing. Yeah. Your favorite car.
All right. So let's talk a little CMC. I don't know if you guys have heard,
What?
but he was extended.
What?
You don't say.
Wow.
Exactly.
Excellent.
When
For
did
2 more years. So we have CMC, including this year, for 4 more years.
2027.
Wow.
Yes, through the 2027 season. 2 years at 19 million a year, so 38 million. In case we don't know how to do the math.
Mhm.
Went from 14 million of a cap hit to 6.7. you know, a lot of people say that we got closer to the Super Bowl with extending Christian McCaffrey. Ty, would you agree?
Well, he was under contract for 2 more years, so he would have been here. The
Right.
extension is just for 2 additional years on the back end.
Right.
So are people saying we're going to be in the Super Bowl in 2026 and 2027 with that statement?
Yes.
You see what I mean?
They
And
are.
if it's yes, I agree. You know, let's
Yeah.
win them all. But it's all a part of keeping the band together.
Yeah.
Keeping guys like
And
that whole narrative.
Hold on. And people say
that wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
We're
a lot of
cleaning
people.
house.
A lot of people were sure it wouldn't happen.
We're going to be
and
cleaning
that we're
house.
old.
The
in the
nucleus
next-
is staying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to be
I
cleaning
prefer
house,
experienced.
and we can't keep the band together. And remember, John Lynch always saying we want to keep our guys together. The first domino, Juwan Jennings, then CMC.
Yep.
Maybe we should
Well, I
listen
don't know
to
if
them
John
when they
was
speak
lying.
sometimes.
But
You know
remember,
what I
John
mean?
Lynch also said, "No, Debo's not going anywhere."
And he didn't.
He didn't.
Not-
And he's still on the
Still here.
team.
Still here. Like I said, if you go back, okay, for example, I do weird things like this, and maybe I'm not the only one, but I went back and watched the Brock highlights, which I've done probably a dozen times since the season ended because they're that good. So I watched the Brock highlights and I jotted down all the times, all the highlights and who it was to. Ayuk, twice as many times as anyone else, was the highlight with Brock and BA. It was just these beautiful plays, these incredible passes, not missing a step, not stopping, not slowing down, not catching it on the wrong side. Every pass was almost perfect. And the ones that weren't, if you remember, and I'm sure you do, Ayuk went out and got them. Whether it bounced off some fool's face or you know what I mean, or just tip, or he had, and the Jennings catch too. Remember the Jennings catch in the Detroit game or the Green Bay game where he went up like 9 feet and pulled
Yeah, that was Green
ball
Bay.
down. He like
Well,
and
he had one
contorted
versus
himself.
Detroit too. Green
Oh,
Bay, he went up
okay.
with 2 hands. Detroit was the one-handed catch.
Yeah. So we
the way
need all these guys.
bulldogged that guy out of bounds too, boy. He was just,
Oh yeah, the Gatorade incident.
oh man, that was. He's a
Yeah.
dog. He's a fighter.
And he's very good
Apparently,
at
that's how he
the
practices
head.
too.
He messes
Good.
with people's heads.
Yeah.
Jennings too. And Ayuk. Jennings and Ayuk are very good blockers, and they mess with you. They mess with you mentally, and you get mad. Very helpful.
Yeah, Kenny, we talked a lot about how important and valuable Brandon Ayuk's been for Brock Purdy. You know, they I think developed a lot together. So that's his go-to guy.
Favorite
that he
receiver.
trusts. Yeah. So you know, I can't. We've said it a million times. I can't see them not working something out with him to get him, keep him.
You know,
around.
surprisingly, again, Kittle's not going anywhere either. But Kittle also had a bunch of highlights with Purdy. If you don't go back and watch it, you don't even see how many great plays there were last year. Just incredible play.
Hey, Kenny, you
Yeah,
talked about
they're,
everybody but CMC, whom just talked about.
CMC, I mean, that's
Who
like
asked about-
talking about
sorry.
it's like talking about Elvis or Jordan
You talked about the water boy,
or Kobe.
bus guy,
I
Jose
don't
the
talk about
security
CMC
man.
because he's like
Talk about CMC.
undoubtedly like the Statue of Liberty. He's undoubtedly like the Eiffel Tower. He's the Colosseum. He's the Berlin Wall. He is the one. He is the one that runs this team. He gets. I mean, he had more receptions than Debo last year, and he is a force. He wants to be out there. He's like a snake. He's like all muscle, and he just is so good.
Really, Bryant?
Hey, he's not the only one saying that. Saying
I know,
Cam is the new Brock.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Wow.
Hitting twice, lightning striking twice.
Well, remember, guys, that happened before, except we added one guy. But that did happen before with Joe and with Steve. And poor Jeff, who got no love, he also slipped in there and provided us with really good quarterback play after some incredible quarterbacks and never got the love he deserved, as he says.
I always loved Jeff.
Yeah,
Showed him the love last week.
Yeah, we love some Jeff Garcia.
awesome interview that was. I watched it and it was awesome. He was spot on, and he's a ball of energy. and he
he is.
doesn't give up, as you know, from the 2003 game. I don't know if you guys remember that game, but Dan Campbell's in that game, and he kicks his helmet at one of his own players. Remember that? So it was a good game. It's always good when the Giants are mad. I always love that.
Yeah, I agree. That was definitely one of my favorite memories.
Yeah, some good teams had. Not to talk about the Giants, but they had some really good teams back in the day. Parcells and Belichick on the same team. That's just crazy stuff. The D was so good.
I was just also going to say that too. Jeff Garcia got some love. He made 3 Pro Bowls in a row.
Oh yeah, and 3 Pro Bowls is not an easy feat.
Exactly.
Especially when most careers end 2.5, 3 years.
F you, Jim Burke. F you, Bill Parcells.
It's amazing how good Jim
was, really. F you, Bill.
I told you I wrote a strongly worded letter to Eddie DeMartolo when they brought him to play for the Niners. He was a very angry teenager.
Well, I'm sad that Maddie isn't here, actually, because I know how Maddie was about the TE2. He went off in the Booby interview about how we don't have TE2, and I was with him until we added Logan. I was there. I was like, who's TE2? Why aren't we discussing TE2? Why doesn't anybody care that we have no tight end 2? And so I agree with him until the Logan Thomas edition was very, very nice.
Yeah, it was. And like I said, like George Kittle was pretty much the tight end room. And we definitely needed to it's so hard. And I've said this on, a number of shows that it's just so hard to find the caliber of player that George Kittle is to match or come anywhere close to him.
Well, the thing is, you're not going to find someone to match that because
there's one other guy.
Echelon, right? He's elite. You don't just find that easily. But what you want is a complement. Someone who could come in and just spell him, for stretches. So we need whoever tight end 2 is to elevate their game to be able to run block as well as pass catch. We need them to do both equally.
Right, not just
and
one.
They don't have to be right. They don't have to be on George's level, but they need to be able to provide value in both of those elements of the game.
It sure would be.
That was our problem. Ross Drelly could catch, but he wasn't good at blocking.
Right.
The other guy could block well, but he had stone hands. So it's like, oh man, when they're on the field, we know what's coming.
There you go.
Now they're both with Atlanta.
Doesn't help.
Exactly.
Knowing that the blocking guy is out there. It's like, and of course, with Trent Tippin plays, and now we're not very good, and we never win any games because everybody knows what we're doing. But there he is.
Dion says why I wanted Mercedes Lewis, still the 4th best blocking tight end in the league.
Good experience.
Yep, Garcia played for the Browns, Tampa Bay.
He played for a lot of teams. After he left the Niners, he was a journeyman for a lot of teams.
And what was he a Las Vegas Outlaw in the XFL? Is that what he was doing before?
He was the Calgary Stampede.
He was in the Canadian League, yes.
Coming
I was thinking
to the Niners. So they won the Grey Cup in the CFL, and then I know he did something in the USFL, XFL, whatever.
Yeah, I think he played the XFL too. I'm not sure.
But I'm not sure when that was in his career, but he played with a lot of teams after the Niners, the time with the 49ers.
There's places to play if you love to play and you have talent. So,
yep.
Yeah. People can't let the game go. They'll play anywhere. They're like Bull Durham.
Well, I mean, hey, if you can last in the league 10, 12 years as a quarterback, a starting quarterback, whether it's 1 year here, 1 year there, 1 year anywhere, that's also, you're making money, you're setting your family up for life, you're doing what you need to do for your own well-being as well. So, I mean, who wouldn't want to stay with the same team for your whole career? But you don't always get that chance, and you can't blame him for doing what he did. Absolutely not.
Yeah, Eric Johnson.
Yep. For those of you just joining us, we have Kenny Culp with us. And if you haven't seen the replay of our Jeff Garcia interview from last week, please go do so. It was really phenomenal, and we thank Jeff again for coming on. Really, really great show and a lot of insight. And yeah, pay close attention when he talks about the Giants, the Cowgirls, and the Raiders.
Heck yeah.
He didn't
Good
hold
stuff.
back.
No, he didn't hold back, which is
He's
awesome.
Which we
passionate. Is what
loved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like he
disagree,
loves
Brian.
the Niners more than some faithful I know.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
He loves hard.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So we were talking about CMC. Well, sort of. And then we kind of went off on a little tangent there. But, the same could kind of be said for who's behind CMC a little bit. There is Elijah Mitchell, JP Mason. We have Cody Schrader, Isaac Garendo. What are your thoughts, Becca, on RB2?
I don't know. I mean, I think the drop off is pretty steep, like the Kittle situation with the tight end. And I think that's why we drafted Garendo. I think, they're looking at the well and probably not as happy with the current bench, the way it sits. That's why you go get a new guy and you hope that you hit on something, or that one of these guys really turn it up and make some strides this season, because I think the drop off is pretty significant in between, CMC caliber to the next guy is not the same thing. So, at least we also have Debo, who is that hybrid guy that I think if really there's a number two, it's probably still a Debo in that role. But I think it's still a little bit of an unknown for how that's going to pan out. But yeah.
Yeah, Tony G said Logan Thomas was a solid addition. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there will be a battle for tight end too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta see how that
As it
shakes
should
out.
be.
But the running
Yeah,
backs, like I just mentioned with the tight ends, right? You're not going to find a CMC light, CMC 2. Like he's like George Kittle, elite. And we know he's the elite of the elite, right? You ask who's the best running back in the league, there's no question. It's him.
There really is.
What you want, once again, is just someone who can come in and do some of the things he can do. We know CMC is an integral part of the passing game. So we need a back to come in that's going to be able to catch passes out the backfield. And they've tried drafting backs who showed a little potential in college, who was able to do it, but for some reason they didn't catch on here. It didn't work. So that's why we see them go out and draft an Isaac Garendo, a guy who can catch out the backfield, and he has speed. So he's a change of pace back. He gives Kyle that speed element that he's been missing for a couple of years now. So you need someone to come in and spell him, especially since this might finally be the year where we see them try to protect CMC from himself and take him off the field some.
Force him off that field. Take a break.
We just gave you this extension. We obviously want you here for a few years. We're going to make sure you last. So sit out a couple of plays. You, 22, out. Come on. Let's just get off the field.
Yeah, you have to like trick them like a dog. You have to throw a treat in the house.
So, just rest on this one. We got Isaac out there. So,
but he's the Labrador smart guy because no, I'm not falling for that.
Yeah,
exactly.
He waits by the door now.
He ain't falling for it.
Even if I come outside, you don't want to treat? No, I'm not coming.
No, that's the shock collar method. Get to your house right now.
Yeah. The RB situation is not very different than the TE situation, really. It's nice to have Eli back there, but the kid's going to hurt his toe in the shower or something like that. And he's going to miss 3 games. That's a huge problem.
So negative.
And it doesn't ever seem to be something really major. It's almost like all these little rickety sort of like annoying like injuries, right? Nothing too serious, but it's always like keeping you out. And to be honest, look, even a blister a little blister on your toe can affect your entire game. So I'm not going to give him crap about that, but like all these little ailments, they don't work. So as much as I like Eli, if somebody would take him in a trade, I would send him away. I would take a later round pick or something just to get it out of here. And I would rather have Garendo and Schrader sitting there like third and fourth, right? Which will probably never even see the field, just like the last third and fourth running backs never saw the field. But Mason, I do trust. Now, I know they're saying that the kid doesn't block, but as Ty said before, we have tight ends that don't catch and tight ends that don't block. So it's like, okay, well, if we're doing it at tight end, do it at running back. We can still work around it. So I'd rather just see these guys, leave if they're not going to like ever help us. And I know Eli is very good. I'll give him his credit when he's healthy, but it seems that it's very rare.
No, Kenny, you said something a little interesting about getting around the fact that, if a running back can't block or whatever. Like, is it really true though?
You'll have to he could be a decoy. He could be, you could, fake pass it to him, hand it off to somebody else, or throw it to the kid. Throw it to the kid and just let him go and find out what we have. And if he doesn't work, get rid of him too. I guarantee there's going to be a bunch of running backs on practice squads that we can swoop up. It's not like they're going to play. So that's really what it comes down to for me. We know CMC is going to play on every down. And if I got to pick number 2, I'm going to go Jordan Mason, just from what I've seen, just from what he averages when he touches the ball. And when he finally touches the ball, if you guys notice, he really runs well. He does a good job. So I don't see the blocking being an issue when he's in there. Now, maybe it's because he comes in when we're up 30 or something like that. I can accept that. But from what I see from Mason, I'd just rather have him out there since he's healthy. I don't know if you remember, and I don't know if this is right, but I'm pretty sure I remember Jordan Mason, either his very first carry or one of his first carries, he knocked himself unconscious, like diving forward with the ball. He was like, trying to do too much. Does anyone remember that? Yeah,
No.
I can't find any footage.
I don't remember that being reported or anything.
No, and I can't find any
Yeah.
video on it. It's very weird. So I don't know why I remember that, but I'm pretty sure it happened. I don't think he was out for 3 or 4 games or anything like that. I just think he kind of knocked himself silly doing too much. And it was one of his first carries. And after that, we didn't see him for a while. I do remember that. So, I mean, there's young kids who are really hungry and they want to do too much. And maybe they're making mistakes, not focusing, not getting it all together like a perfect golf swing. And Kyle's a perfectionist. So if you're not, perfect like that, Eli may be perfect, but just can't stay healthy. So we have all these things we're patchwork in the depth area. A lot of patchwork, and that's why they've been going for utility guys, I think, so that we can swap guys in and out and not just depend on this or that guy. And that's what I kind of like about Garendo and Schrader. I watched the film on Schrader, and it's just film in college. You can't really go by that. He's playing with kids. He's not playing with grown men. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. But he looked really shifty and very fast. And when he moved and he kind of made a cut, he was still moving forward. So it's very hard to do that when you're a running back, to make a cut but still kind of be angled in a direction that you're going forward. A lot of people stop, they go sideways, they run side, and they get stopped. So he has that in him that I see, but again, against children at the kids' table, not in the NFL. I guess we'll find out more in training camp. Here's a weird question, because I'm a weird dude. Debo accepts his fate. He knows he's not a wide receiver like that. No matter how much weight he loses, he's just not going to be Steph. He's not going to be like a Diggs or somebody like that, or like Jefferson. How about RB2, Debo?
Hell no.
No? If
No.
that's what he was preparing for all year, to be RB2. Remember, the RB2 never plays. We don't even see the guy.
So we're gonna pay an RB2 $28 million a year?
No, that's what I'm saying. He accepts his fate and has to take a major pay cut and become a running back, and that's that.
What idiot is going to be like, yeah, 28 million? Nah, I'm gonna take this.
I don't
pay
know
cut
any
to
idiot like that, but who's
and
going to
take
give
more
Debo,
punishment?
Who's going to re-sign Debo at his price? I can't think of one team that would do
A
it.
lot of teams would.
For a year.
'Cause he's
For a
just
year.
that dangerous.
I think they would do it for a year, but it's a lot of money for a guy that you have to throw a 5-yard pass to and pray to God he doesn't get tackled, which he usually doesn't. But I think he's
Go
just
back
getting
and
there.
watch the Giants game from last year and tell me if all those passes were 5-yard passes.
No, they're not all.
Okay, then. So stop that narrative.
But
We don't do
you're
that
talking-
on this show.
But you're
We
talking
don't.
about last
Nope.
year when we had BA as maybe one of the top 5 receivers in the
Was BA playing in that Giants game and Debo had to be the number 1 option? What happened?
Debo gets it done. Debo always gets it done.
What are we saying here? Just ask me another question. Stop with this
Keep 'em.
foolishness.
I'm definitely on
what?
Trek. I'm on Team Star Trek.
Star Trek or Star Wars, Ty?
Mm.
No, oh no. You're not getting the Trekkies and the Star Wars fans coming after me. Nope, no, sir.
I don't know any Star
You're not
Trek.
doing that one either.
As far as movies go,
I like them both.
I mean, I like them.
There you go.
but
I
I'm
like them
definitely
both.
Trekkie.
if I have to compare Star Wars movies to Star Trek movies, you're comparing like 2 completely different things. That one is incredible and the other one is pure crap. No offense to
So
Star
you're
Trek.
Star
but
Wars.
Can you imagine having to sit down and watch every Star Trek Generations episode or something like that? That is sci-fi garbage.
I like the recent movies.
Metal stools in the like, metal folding
Recent
chairs
movies
in
were
the
very
like
good.
command
Chris
center.
Pine.
This is like
Chris Pine.
corny Star Trek. I'm sorry.
I thought the recent movies were very good.
They're
What's
very
up,
good.
Pterodome?
Well, because J.J. Abrams did them, the same people did Star Wars. That's probably why. But yeah, no Star.
The Sentinel says, I'm just wondering when we can re-identify ourselves as the premier West Coast offense team with the 2024 update. Ty, you look like you want to respond. Go ahead.
So if we're not the premier West Coast offense team, who is?
I was over here like, are we not?
Who is?
now? Like,
We have other people running West Coast now.
there are other people running West Coast, but
Yeah, a lot of people run our systems, but they still are
they
players.
are now because they're descendants and disciples of.
You see teams copying us.
Everybody's running.
You're not copying other teams.
Yeah, everybody's running Kyle's offense.
Green Bay beat Dallas this year in the playoffs, running our exact same game plan we beat them with in Game 5.
Yeah,
that tells you all you need to know about who's the premier West Coast offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what he just said.
Kenny, do you have like a motion camera? Because every time you move, it moves with you, and it's fascinating.
I do. It's amazing.
Like
pretty
before,
good.
when you were kind of doing like your little
I know,
thing,
it was
like
like-
it was just, and I'm like, oh my god, that's really
Yeah, it
fascinating.
follows me around.
Is it the candlestick dirt or is he moving?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
All right,
fancy.
so
The 2019 iPad, super fancy.
Kenny, I was on the draft show with you that we did with Bryant and Beto, and
And I ruined the reveal for you. I ruined
no, you
the
didn't. No, you
Okay,
didn't.
good. Because they
No,
told
you
me
didn't.
you were on mute, and I like had a reaction, but I was like, but I thought you guys said she was on mute. So I thought I ruined
No,
it.
no, you didn't.
Okay, good.
You'd
good.
hear about it if you did.
Yeah, I thought so. You're from New Jersey.
We drafted Ricky Pearsall. What are your thoughts on Ricky?
First time I heard it, I didn't like it because I'm a dummy and I'm a homer, and I thought we were going to take an offensive lineman, right? Because it's important, and we're trying to protect our investment, Brock Purdy, but we didn't do it. As time goes by, you learn more things, and apparently that was the time to be taking wide receivers and like cornerbacks right in that spot. It wasn't really for offensive linemen, but Kyle is a reach specialist. So you're telling me they couldn't find one incredible lineman that they could have gotten at that spot instead of Ricky? Maybe. As time has passed again, I like Ricky. I hear nothing but good things about Ricky. I know that he only helps us be a more devastating offense. I don't know if you guys know this, but do you remember the last wide receiver we drafted at 31? It was in 2004. The man's name was Rayshawn Woods.
Oh,
He
yeah.
played 1 year. He had like 100 yards and never played again. It's a disaster. It's very hard to get a good wide receiver. You know, you can get wide receivers in later rounds, but I looked at all the 31 overall picks, and the wide receivers were, most of them were pretty awful, but a lot of them were good. None of them were really great. So that's just the history of the 31st pick. And if you remember 2017, Reuben Foster, also 31st overall pick. And so right now, Rashawn Woods, Reuben Foster, that's historically what we've done there. And that's what we have to look at. That's really all I can do is like look at what we've done and see if that worked and what other people have done and if that's worked. 31 is not a great position for any really top tier wide receivers, maybe a handful, 2 or 3. But there have been maybe 10 that were very good to very good. So I hope it works. It just doesn't look like it's going to work. Also, speaking about the reach thing, I have a chart here, but I have to go split screen and it may ruin everything, so I'm not going to do it. Pearsall was.
Oh, here we go with the charts.
Yeah. No, I won't bring it up. But Pearsall was a reach pick, and just historically speaking, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad pick. They've been terrible picks. They're not good picks. They don't work out. Latu is one of them. Joe Williams is one of them. But so is Mitch Wishnowsky, and Aaron Banks, I think, was one.
Mitch.
I could look it up. But my point is that they were almost, I'm talking about if they were 20, 19 were bad. It's like anything Kyle reaches for is really bad. So that's another thing against Ricky. But none of that matters. Come the season start and he gets to perform and do what he can do and hopefully prove us wrong. Again, I just look at what's happened and try and, have that influence my opinion. And the way he looks, I don't think it matters. But I don't expect him to be nothing near like Jerry Rice or Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb or anyone like that. That's just my opinion.
Tony says that Pearsall was the best wide receiver for what Kyle wants to do in his offense.
He 100% was. He's perfect for this team. That's totally right.
And he's apparently he already has a good rapport with Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
Purdy
I hear nothing
to Pearsall. I like it.
Yeah, right. P2P.
All good news. Everyone likes him. No one has anything bad to say about Ricky, and those are all very great things for now. Hopefully it works out.
Tony wants to know, is it a reach? If he had a second round grade on him, the Niners picked 62. No way he makes it there.
Well, I'll go to the chart just to let you know, but I know that Ricky overall, if you took all the averages of most people that were analyzing the incoming draft class, he was ranked between 38 and 41. I'm saying it was a huge reach, but any reach that Kyle has done, has been awful. So it's super easy. I'll just bring it up real quick and I'll just try and throw out some quick names. Okay, right here. Super. Okay, CJ Beathard, reach pick. Joe Williams, Peta Tuamopinu, remember that guy or whatever? Mike McGlinchey, Dante Pettis, Tarvarius Moore, Marcel Harris, Julian Taylor, Jalen Hurd, Justin Skule, Charlie Werner, Trey Lance, Tyrion Davis-Price, Samuel Womack, Nick Zakel, Cameron Latu. Here are the ones that maybe have a chance. Renardo Green, Ricky Pearsall, Jake Moody. I don't think Womack is going to work out. And, Mitch Wishnowsky. Dre Greenlaw was the best reach pick. The only, in my opinion, besides maybe Wishnowsky, good reach pick. Those numbers are devastating, even though they don't mean anything. It's just
what defines them as a reach pick?
I'll show you. There's actually.
Well, I was just going to say that too, and also we had PFF guys on here who say Mike McGlinchey was the highest graded guy on the line. So I mean,
he's one of the best guys that he's picked.
So
shout out to John Costco, who finally got a picture of Brock Purdy on PFF. But go ahead.
Oh, yay!
Only took 2 seasons, but
Yeah, it only took that long. That's fine.
Yeah, see, that's why that's not a terrible pick. So, McGlinchey was ranked, he was picked 9th. He was on the big board, he was 21. That's a difference of 12. And that means his reach percentage was 133. I think it's 133. Okay, 133%.
He left us for a big
percentage.
contract.
Wait, time the F out. Let's narrow this down, please. You said Ricky Pearsall is a reach. What makes him a reach? What's
he was
that
picked
definition?
31. This is history of drafting against the big board.
What,
deviation at least 50%.
I ain't asking you about the history of the NFL. I'm asking you about Ricky Pearsall and what makes him a reach pick.
He was ranked. He was chosen 31st. He was he was slated to go 48th
By whom?
by these people.
Who the F is these people?
As good as anybody else.
Those people.
As good as anybody else, because you know what?
Our team is run by Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Who the F is these people?
Again, it doesn't matter who did it because these are just numbers. This was like an average ranking of
You
all
going
the
off? Wait. You're trying to use the baseball analytics
a
go
big
by
board.
numbers rule approach to football.
No, there's a big board when we draft, and the draft is on.
Okay, so talk about our big board, not these people's big board. What was on our big board?
But I just showed you. I can only
You
find
show me
like 3 or 4
nothing. You talked
guys,
about these people.
3 or 4 guys in 7 years that we've reached for.
I'm not asking you about the history of the NFL. I asked you about Ricky Purcell specifically. What made him a reach?
I just told
And
you.
you haven't told me anything yet about Ricky Purcell.
What makes him the reach is that most people ranked him 47th.
Can you give me a name? 31st. I don't know anybody named most people.
Why? So, but why?
This is an average of everybody's big board, like everybody's big board. So, for example, there's a lot of
once again, give me a name.
Can I get a name? What we're trying to boil it down.
ESPN, NFL, PFF, Draft Buzz, like all these things. It's just an average.
They say,
average of big board.
Hold on, just because they say that he should have been picked 48th, whatever, he has a second round grade, means that Kyle Shanahan reached for him.
Correct. For example.
No. But that's what you think, though?
Do I think Ricky Pearsall was a reach?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Because of what they say?
Went for him? Leggett? Right? Keon Coleman? Those are some really good guys, and they could have fit in this. You tell me those guys don't fit in this team? That's crazy. And to other people, they were way better wide receivers. So again, Kyle, like if you ever play Madden, okay, they want you to pick for the style of offense that you run, and they give you a percentage. Like you pick a guy who fits in your scheme and all that, he works better, the team plays better. But if you get a guy who's outstanding, but he doesn't play your system, he won't work on the team, no matter how good he is, no matter if he's a 99 or whatever. So it's all about meshing. So it wasn't our big board specifically. This is a ranking of everybody ranking players when the draft comes out. And I don't have to it doesn't even have to matter who the big board is, right? This is like facts right here. CJ Beathard, did you like him? Why don't we do this? CJ Beathard, yes or no? Like him?
I think CJ was okay, but CJ also didn't have a lot of pieces around him.
Yeah,
CJ was in the Chip Kelly, the Jimmy Tom Sula time frame where
we got him. Kyle got him, but he was part of that early rebuilding
time frame.
This is NFL, PFF, Draft Buzz, ESPN.
PFF, I'm
24/7 Sports. This is like a ranking of everything. But again, let's just do it this way. Did you like CJ Beathard? Because he was a reach pick. Did you like Dante Pettis? He was a reach pick. Did you like Tavarius Moore?
Time out. When you have a bad team and you're turning the whole thing over, everything's a reach pick.
Yeah.
Dante Pettis?
Because you got nothing to compare it to.
But was Dante
Remember, before Kyle and them got here, Jeremy Curley was our number 1 wide receiver. And that he's a number 4. He's a number 4 on any team we play on.
I can't argue facts with you, buddy. I'm telling you what it is. Joe Williams was a reach pick. Did you like him?
We didn't see enough of them to like him.
Okay, so no. Dante Pettis, drafted 2018. We went to the Super Bowl 2019. Reach pick. Did you like him? He didn't do shit.
I actually like
Tony. Talking about
Did you like?
Okay, so what does that have to do with 2024? You keep giving us the history of the NFL picks.
It doesn't, and I said that earlier.
What the hell are you talking about it for?
It matters. I'm telling you what this is. I'm just showing you statistics and historical facts. You don't have to like them or agree with them.
So let me just throw this one little tangent in there too about Kyle has a very complicated playbook and play design, right? Like all the players say it takes a really long time to grasp that concept. I think that's what you saw with Chase Young.
If you don't understand it. But Brock Purdy stepped right.
you're going to struggle. And I think that sometimes you might draft guys who have some skill, who have some quality, are able to play, but just not for Kyle because it's too complex and they can't do the mentals. The physicals, maybe they could, but they just can't quite get it up here. They can't.
You're 100% right.
And so
want to
think,
keep playing this game, or should we move on?
Oh, well, no. I mean, I think we say it all the time. The draft is a crapshoot.
Yeah.
How many first round,
especially if someone says
are-
someone ranked 246 and you take them at 101, it sure is a mistake.
Oh, can you give me the
come on. Like
statistics
moving
of all the
from
draft
the
picks where
round
guys where they
one
said this is a
to the
can't
second
miss
round guy,
prospect
that's not
and
the
they
same.
wind up not working out? Give me
Yeah.
those stats, will you?
Yeah.
Usually that's less than 50%. So, for example, the top 5 quarterbacks taken every year, right? You know how many are good? Maybe 2. So you go out of your way to get an early pick and take a quarterback because you think it's the best way to do it. Guess what? Top 5, 6 quarterbacks taken. 2 may be good.
Right.
Usually 1.
Yep.
So, it's a crapshoot.
It's
But this
all
is
a
just a
crapshoot.
fact.
Everyone,
This is a
whether you
fact of,
start
when
position
Kyle takes
one
place
or go all
and
the
when
way
other
to
people rank them. So if you want to say just other people, that's fine because that works, Ty. You only care about our draft board. This is people who don't give a shit about our draft board. Okay? And they were right. And we were dead wrong.
Says you.
We were
Says
dead
you.
wrong.
Says
It's
you.
the draft. I mean, you get people who are hungry, who are smart, who are capable, but graded, lower, like Brock Purdy, on his size. He's a smaller guy. He's not going to get a first round
he
grade.
was a reach pick, right?
You want to
He
know
was
what's funny?
totally
I'm going to take it the other way. Guess who was the smallest reach? Only 4 spots. You want to guess?
No, we don't care.
Trey Lance. And how did he work out?
We don't give a shit.
Well, if you don't give a shit, then we don't have to keep doing this, but you wouldn't be happy with the outcome of your
Kenny,
answer.
I have a question for you.
Did you like TDP? Reach pick.
I did.
Yeah,
His daddy got injured and got in the
We didn't have
doghouse,
any
but he
for
ran
Tyler.
very well.
Where's he
Kenny-
running well now?
Kenny,
Where's he running
was
Don't
George
give a
Kittle
shit.
a reach?
Is it
Niner.
next to Trey Sermon?
Now she's got to know. Now you got it. Jess is ready to get. You're about to get Jess fired up.
Jalen Hurd. Did you like him?
Hell yeah,
Kenny,
he
was
was
George
awesome. He was
Kittle a
Debo
reach?
before Debo.
Hey,
George Kittle was a
you know
reach,
what?
right?
Guys, it's totally cool. This is what I do, right? People do
No,
not.
wait.
People
Hold
don't-
on. Time
They
out.
get very
Time
upset.
out.
You got to answer the
Like
question,
Kenny.
Kenny.
I'm
You're
not
getting-
upset. I'm just laughing
We're
at
just
the
gonna
BS.
all stop talking.
Time
and you're
out.
gonna answer
How is it
Jess's
BS? This is
question.
straight facts.
This may be the first time I actually used the mute button. Kenny, hold on 1 second. Was George Kittle a reach?
Because he's good, right?
No, he's just
Because
not
he's
on this
good.
list. It
No,
wasn't
because
a
he's
reach
good.
like that.
You know, I noticed everybody you said that's
What
good on
round
our
was-
team wasn't
what
a
round
reach.
was Kittle taken in?
It doesn't matter.
It does. What do you mean it doesn't matter when someone was chosen?
Did ESPN say he was a reach? Was he
No,
supposed
because
to
he
go
was in the
fifth?
late rounds. People don't even give a crap about those people.
So
They're
it only counts
all
for the
bonus
early
rounds.
rounds.
Six
So
rounds.
so
After
they didn't
the first-
bother to
after, like,
evaluate the
first
whole
20
draft.
picks, it's almost
All right, I
like
got another question.
Move on.
to remain in football for more than 2 years if you're picked out of the 31st pick.
I got
Almost-
another question.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Kyle Shanahan?
I love Kyle Shanahan.
Nope, he was a
Okay.
reach coach.
I'm a Shanna Stan, and I'm a Purdy
Hi.
father.
Sorry, that was the last one.
Ay.
I was the reach.
You
You
know I
have
was
to
going
like
to do
took a
something.
drink to high. Oh my god.
Well, if you could show me something that says Kyle was a reach pick, I'd love to see it. You linked me. Link me right now.
Oh, that was funny as hell.
All right, so I want to share this because I thought this was actually pretty cool. From David Lombardi, 2 notable summits at 49ers practice today. Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, CMC reunited during warm-ups. Even though they didn't practice, I just thought it was pretty cool to have the guys back together. During 11 on 11, we have Huff, Tig Brown, Mooney Ward, Demo all watch action from the center field, the safety's vantage point with no one other than John Lynch. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anytime
What do you
you
guys think?
Watch some stuff with a Hall of Famer. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
It's good to hear.
What's up, Chris?
I'm
David
here every week.
McNiner. I'm reaching for my
There
corn.
you
It's
go.
on the top shelf.
That's how you do a show, baby. That's how you do a show, right? That's how you do a show. Because when all you do is
catching
agree,
cans of corn,
when
that's
when
baseball.
people only agree, that's not a good show. When people agree all day, it's not a good show. So that's
You gotta
how
have debate. You gotta bring the action, the fire. Needs for
100%.
ratings. Watch.
Listen,
Clip
it's
this
been
up.
good
I'm
having you
telling
on.
clip
It's
it up.
usually me and Ty.
That's true. It's always Becca and Ty.
I like to
That's
debate.
right.
So do I. I've been doing this
And of
since
course,
I was 4
Jess.
years old.
That's right, throwback. Kittle ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, Lombardi's a reach. There you go. I would never quote anything Lombardi said.
I like
Thanks,
David
thanks,
Lombardi.
Steve-O.
You know what? I actually
He's a food
in
and
a
travel
future
channel.
show, I actually want to have you, Kenny, and
Yeah.
Tony on.
Tony
Tony
G.
G.
Ooh, Tony G.
Ooh, well, I do a show. Tony G can come on any night he wants.
Yeah, I think
Do a live
that would
show,
be a
just-
really good show.
Yeah.
The play of camp was Brock rolling to his left, fading away, dropped a dime to Debo, 30 yards.
Oh, that
play of the
wide
day.
open deep Debo pass, like the rare long pass to Debo when he was all alone.
Against the coverage of Samuel Womack, I believe.
He shouldn't be here long.
Kenny's like,
Hey, guess who was a reach pick?
knew that was coming.
Doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say they don't evaluate past the first round?
Samuel Womack.
Wait. A minute ago, you said they didn't evaluate past the first round.
They
Now
did.
I'm
So if they
going.
didn't evaluate past the first round, how do you got stuff for all these third and fourth rounders?
No. Here you go. Samuel Womack was taken 172.
I'm going to
which is
rewind this because I'm
basically-
sure I heard that.
Samuel Womack is basically the one of the last picks. He was 172. Do you know what he was ranked? 430. Guys, that's a problem. I love Kyle. I'm just telling you, when he reaches, it's a bomb. You don't have to like it, but the percentages of him succeeding on a reach pick is like less than 20%. It's just is what it is. And now these numbers, they don't even have to be right. The names are what's right. The names are right there. Do you like any of those players? Do you like any of those players?
Tony, we're gonna do a future show with you guys.
Tony, I'll do a show
because we're getting ready
Come on
to
Tony,
end
I
tonight's
do
did
show.
hear that, right, Rob?
I'm a talk show, baby. We go tonight.
I heard that,
I'm talking
Ty.
about
Yeah.
Rob.
I was
Sin
looking
says
here with
this
Tony
calls
G
for a
one-
chart.
Uh-oh.
Now we're getting totally off the rails now.
Yeah. All right. So if
Here's
nothing
some
else
forwards.
besides reaches, let's go to our hurry up offense in the 2-minute warning.
Okay.
Rob D, that's poetic right there.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Ty.
Could be.
Reaches rhymes with sons of beaches, and we don't do that here. No.
All right.
Okay, that was my last one. Now, please don't fall for the trade rumors. I'm seeing this ugly stuff come up again with our wide receivers, and it's totally stupid. Seeing as how we're actually creating cap space to keep people. So just once again, don't listen to and believe everything you see on the internets. That's all I got to say.
Shout out to Kenny Culp. Thank you so much for coming on. We
Anytime.
appreciate it. And like I said, future
I rile
show,
people up.
you and Tony G gonna come on. We're gonna have some good debates.
Yeah.
And you know what? Ty's right. Don't believe any of the rumors. We have the cap space now for a reason. And just let it all play out, hopefully sooner rather than later. And as always, go Niners. Shout out to the chat. You guys were awesome. If you haven't liked the video, please like it. Please subscribe. We had Jeff Garcia on last week. Go check it out. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. And Kenny, you are up.
I'm up. All right, just to answer Tony G real quick. Marcel Harris, draft position 184, basically last, a nobody, right? Ranked 362. That's insane. Insane. So I know people don't like graphs and charts and facts, and this is the era of like arguing facts, right? It doesn't matter what the facts are, you're just gonna believe whatever you believe. And that's fine, but I'm gonna stick with the facts. And until you could link me something that says something different, then I'm gonna believe what I got here. That's it.
Yeah, Becca.
Hey. It's all a crapshoot in the draft. You just hope that somebody can fit your system and work out and stay healthy and do what we need them to do. So good luck to all of our draft picks. We want them to succeed. We want them to be good and fill the cupboard and keep that going. Congrats to CMC on the extension. These guys are slowly keeping the nucleus together, building the core, keeping the core together for Brock to have some long-term success for our team and another shot. We want to get back to the big game. I think we will see a BA contract soon. We've been, as Ty said, creating all the cap space to make that happen. And, good luck to the guys in camp. I hope, that it works out for everybody, and looking forward to all their social media on their vacations, their fun vacations that they go on. Go Niners.
Double click.
Yep. Today was the last day of mini camp. We got 40 days to bring you guys some really cool coverage and hopefully cool guests and a lot of awesome debates. So tune in here every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we are out. See you next week, faithful. Go Niners.
See you guys.
And of course, for the upstart 49ers, they're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
On